viewers, in this video we'll see discounted payback method. First we'll see what is meant by this discounted payback. Discounted payback period is taking the future estimated cash inflow of a project and discounting them to the present value. This method overcomes the delimitation of payback period method, which ignores the time value of money. The shorter a discounted payback period means the sooner a project or investment will generate cash inflows to cover the initial cost. This discounted payback method overcomes the limitation of the general payback method. Okay, normal payback method will come under the traditional method, and this discounted payback method will come under this modern method and overcomes the limitation of payback period, because in payback period we won't consider the time value of money, but here we'll consider the time value of money, and it estimates the future cash inflows and discount them to the present value. Okay, and the shorter discounted payback period project will be accepted. Okay, that kind of investment will be accepted because it will generate the cash inflow quicker than the other projects. Okay, whichever gives the quickest discounted payback period, that project will be accepted. Okay, now we'll see the format to calculate the annual cash inflow. This format we already saw in our previous video. Okay, that is sales minus your cost. You'll get the profit before depreciation and tax, and we have to subtract the depreciation, then we have to subtract the taxation, and we have to add back the depreciation. We'll get annual cash inflows. Okay, now we'll see one problem. Using the information given below, compute the discounted payback period. Initial outlay rupees 80,000, estimated life 5 years. Profit after tax and after depreciation was given. Okay, for 5-year period, the profit after tax and depreciation was given. We have to calculate the annual cash inflow. Depreciation has to be calculated under straight line method. The cost of capital may be taken at 20% per annum. Okay, the discounting factor, and we'll see how to work out the problem. First, I have written the profit after tax and depreciation. That is, for first year it's 6,000, and second year it is 14,000, third year 24,000, fourth year 16,000, and fifth year we don't have any cash inflow. Okay, and now we have to add back the depreciation. Okay, and the depreciation is to be calculated on this initial outlay, that is 80,000, and the estimated life of this is 5 years. So 80,000 divided by 5 will get the depreciation, that is 16,000. Okay, we have to add the 16,000. Okay, and if we add this, we'll get the annual cash inflow. Okay, for first year 22,000, second year 30,000, third year 40,000, fourth year 32,000, and fifth year 16,000. Okay, using this cash inflows, we have to find the present value of cash inflows. Okay, see, I have written the cash inflows here, and it is given that 20% is the discounting factor, but the table value is not given. I hope you all know how to calculate this table value. I'll tell once. Okay, see, 1 into 100 divided by 120. Since it is 20%, we have to put 120. Okay, equal to, we'll get 0.833. In that 0.833 into 100 divided by 120. Similarly, we have to do it for the 5-year period. Okay, so we'll get 0.833, 0.694, 0.579, 0.482, 0.402. That is the present value of 1 rupee at this discounting factor, that is 20%. Okay, and now we have to calculate the present value of cash inflow. This is nothing but we have to multiply this cash inflow into this present value. Okay, we'll get 18,326, 20,820, 23,160, 15,424, and 6,432. Okay, and now we have to do the cumulative of this present value of cash inflows. Okay, I hope you know how to calculate this cumulative, right? First year we have to write the same 18,326, and second year 18,326 plus 20,820 will get 39,146. With this, we have to add this 23,160. We'll get 62,306. And with this amount, we have to add this 15,424. We'll get 77,730. And with this, we have to add the 6,432. We'll get 84,162. Okay, this is the cumulative of the cash inflows. Okay, and using this, we can able to find out the payback period. Okay, the same way we are going to do it here. Whatever we did for simple payback method, we have to do it for this discounted payback. Okay, the only difference is present value is calculated here and cumulative of this present value is taken for calculating this discounted payback period. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, there we won't consider the time value and we won't find the present value of the cash inflows, but here we have to find the present value of cash inflow. That is the difference. Okay, we'll see. And the investment here is 80,000. We have to check where it crosses. Okay, 4th year to 5th year, this 80,000 lies. Okay, so 4th year we have to take, so 4 years plus the investment is 80,000 minus the cumulative cash inflow of the 4th year, that is 77,730, divided by cash inflow of the 5th year. Okay, cash inflow of the 5th year is, that is, here we have to take the present value of cash inflow. Okay, you should not take this cash inflow. Okay, present value only we have to take it here. Okay, 6,434. See, investment have returned and cumulative cash inflow of the 4th year divided by cash inflow, that is present value of cash inflow of the 5th year. Okay, we'll get 4 years plus 0.35 and the payback period, discounted payback period is 4.35 years. Okay, and using this discounted payback period, we can choose the investment proposal. Okay, here only for one project, you can compare with many projects and you can choose the one which gives the lesser payback period. Okay, discounted payback period. Okay, that investment, that proposal will be chosen. Okay, I hope now you can able to find out this discounted payback period, right? And I have given you a similar problem for you to practice. You just work out this problem and comment the answer. I'll check your answer. Thank you for your patient listening.